Welcome to Kids Spaces, the show that's all about you and your space, your home and surroundings, and how they relate to your kids. Hi, I'm Debi Marie.
And I'm David Jones. You know, Debbie, when it comes to kids, the topics are wide and varied. And it just so happens we have a wide range of topics varied all over the place on today's show.
For instance?
For instance, how about, let's see, braces, pets, household keys, reading skills, and clean shoes on the carpet.
That's a good selection, and I bet you they all have a good story to go behind them.
Yes, they do. They're all on today's show.
Well, stay tuned because it's all coming up right now on Kids Spaces.
Hey, Deb, I think we're getting the swing of this.
I think so. Stay tuned for another great idea on Kids Spaces.
Traffic accidents are the #1 killer of teens. According to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, motor vehicle crashes claim the lives of nearly 5,000 teens every year and injure about 375,000.
When I was 16, one of my friends was killed in a car accident, and it affected me big time because I had to start driving and I was very nervous on the road, but I just knew I have to be safe and drive slow, and I just didn't want to end up like that or put any of my friends in that type of danger.
It's a devastating reality, underlining the importance of talking to teens about safe driving. In research recently conducted by the Allstate Foundation, 89% of teens said it is their parents who have the biggest influence on their driving habits. While many parents know the dangers associated with teen driving, they avoid the safe driving talk.
A lot of kids think they're invincible and nothing will ever happen to them, and I think maybe a lot of parents don't want to make them fearful of driving. But I think it's okay to put a little fear in the kids, maybe that way they'll be a little more cautious when they're behind the wheel.
Allstate Insurance Company has a program for both parents and teens to address teen driving. This program is a contract that both parents and teens talk about to open up the crucial points that both parents and teens should know before your teen starts driving. To learn more about it, Kids Spaces caught up with Stacy Kagan, a South Florida Allstate agent who is devoted to promoting safe teen driving. Stacy, thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know, parents with kids that are driving or may be driving soon may not realize the importance of talking to their teens about the possible dangers and responsibilities. Why do you think teen driving hasn't been given the same attention as other issues like alcohol and drugs?
Things like alcohol and drugs and peer pressure are all things that we hear about all the time.
Right.
But when it comes to teen driving, it's really something that hasn't been recognized widely enough. This teen driving issue is a national epidemic. We have too many kids that are out on the road that are getting into accidents and that are getting killed. Right now, Allstate has a very big stand in the GDL laws, which are the Graduated Driver's Licensing Laws. And what those are those set limits on novice drivers, people just learning how to drive teens, as to what time they should be driving, how many hours of practice they should have, what ages they should be, and right now it's on a state-by-state level. So here in Florida, it could be a completely different law than in Georgia or New York. So Allstate feels very, very strongly in supporting all of these teen driving laws to be national. So regardless of what state you live in, it's all the same.
You know, there's many distractions on the road, and even the most experienced drivers have a problem with them. Is this something that you think parents should talk about with their teens?
How many times have you been out on the road that you've seen a kid possibly swerve while talking on their cell phone, while reading a text? So parents really need to make their kids aware that these distractions are killers.
Most of my friends do talk on the phone while they're driving and text, and they eat and drink while they drive. It's not safe for others to be on the road with someone that's doing that.
So right now it's very important for teens and parents to have that open line of communication to say, hey, you shouldn't be changing that satellite radio station. You shouldn't be talking on that cell phone. You should be concentrating on the road to prevent accidents and to make you aware of what's going on. The University of Utah conducted a study that talking on your cell phone while driving is like having a .08 blood alcohol level, which defines legal drunkenness in most states across the United States. The Journal of the American Medical Association has done another study, and this is even scarier because, for example, I have a daughter who's 20. And when she was a teen, I always used to think it was safer for her to drive with somebody in the car. Well, believe it or not, by having one additional male driver in the car, it doubles your chances of having a fatal crash. You know, during the summertime, it's a very scary time. From Memorial Day to Labor Day, we have something called the 100 Deadliest Days for Teen Drivers. You have more teens on the road, they're out of school, they think they're invincible, and more automobile crashes happen during that time period for teens than any other time during the year.
Now, you have a contract for parents and teens, correct?
Oh, yes, we do.
Okay, tell me about it and how does that work?
Okay, we have something called the Parent-Teen Driving Contract. It highlights the responsibilities of the teenager and what they need to do on the road. It talks about the consequences that if, God forbid, that teenager gets a ticket, gets into an accident, what will happen. And it also, which is really the most important thing, it opens up the lines of communication between parent and teenager, and everybody knows what's expected. We can also look at the teen driving contract and view it online. It's a great interactive site, allstate.com/teen. You can go in and you can make changes to it. So it's fantastic. So a parent and teen can sit and say, okay, in your first month of driving, these will be your consequences. If you're successful, this will be your reward. So it could be a very, very positive thing. It can also be adjusted a year down the road, 2 years down the road, and it's a great tool.
All kids need to talk to their parents about driving, and it should be mandatory with all families. It can save other people's lives as well as your own.
I actually think that there can never be enough talk about teen driving and safety. There's so many deaths that occur amongst teenagers from driving that it needs to be talked about constantly.
At Allstate, we believe in making the roads a safer place to drive, and that's our stand. We not only want teens safe, we want parents safe, we want passengers safe, we want the roadways to be a safer place.
Aside from the parent-teen driving contract, are there any other tools that Allstate has for both parents and teens?
We actually have over 14,000 agents nationwide. You can stop into any agent's office, you can pick up a teen driving video, and there are a lot of real-life stories that talk about real things that happen to teens, and this video is a great way to open up the communication as well.
Wonderful. I have to thank you so much for being on this show today and really bringing to our attention something that many of us may not know is an epidemic right now that we can actually prevent.
Thank you so much for having me. I've really enjoyed talking about this, and this is a very important point for Allstate.
So let's go ahead and look at the contract.
Okay.
Well, it looks like we covered everything you said at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, we started right here with braces, pets, house keys, reading skills, and clean shoes on the carpet.
Yep, all of those.
All right, so what do we do now?
Well, actually, nothing. We're out of time. I think we say goodbye.
Good idea. Thanks for watching Kid Spaces. I'm David Jones.
And I'm Debi Marie. We'll see you next time.
Can
Bye.
I?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
You can visit these websites to learn more about the participants on this edition of Designing Spaces.